Leftover scraps from dinner. Give to the chickens. I got 1, 2, 3 pots of soup bones brewing for beef broth because we just got our cow yesterday, our whole cow, and that takes up a lot of room. We had to do a lot of rearranging with our freezer. We have a big chest freezer. This box right here, that's the only thing left from our old cow. So everything in here all the way from the bottom to the top is new meat. So we usually have beef, pork, chicken, lamb, and goat for a whole year, and beef is check. We just got a new freezer. I like it because I'm an organized freak, but it is really full already. I can't even open the drawers. This is chicken breasts and chicken tenders, chicken wings and drumsticks, and then I also have some of my miscellaneous pork in here because this was my leftover ground beef that I had left, just a few, so I had extra room in here, and some stew meat. So we were trying to make room, so we got out the big pieces of pork and I just shoved them in that drawer. Some more ground beef, so we'll eat this ground beef first. This is all breakfast sausage for my pig, and then this is pork. And this is like liver and heart of the cow. So I'm gonna try. I don't like wasting. A lot of times I always ask you, do you want the liver? Do you want the heart? Do you want the tongue? The only thing I didn't take was the oxtail. Although then someone told me that they've had the oxtail and it's delicious. So maybe next time. But this is the freezer I think we need to tackle because we're butchering chickens next week. So I really don't have any room for my chickens, which usually go in the big chest freezer as we're dicing them up because it's easier to freeze quickly in there. So sometime today, I need to go through this and see if my sisters need any chicken stock. I have a lot of chicken stock and I have more to make. These are our whole chickens from our last butchering, a little bit of giblets. I can make more chicken broth, but I still have all of these chicken broths that I froze. So like this is 2 cups. There's 4 squares of chicken broth. I can as much as I can, but then I lose room. So I like to use these super cubes to freeze them, just like I freeze extra dinner. This is mac and cheese, and then I can pop them out and put them in bags like that. Someone bought potatoes, left them here. I guess we never made them, so I need to cook those. I usually don't buy. Well, I love tater tots. I tried to make them myself. They're a little hard. These are something my husband bought. These 2 for the kids to snack on. They know who to go to, and it's not me to buy that stuff. My escapes, I just flash freeze them really quick, so I gotta do something with them. I have a lot to do. And the big thing here is these are tomatoes that still need to be processed. I think my husband wants me to do those to free up some room, and 1, 2, 3 bags of beef fat, which I think I'm going to render those down today and make some tallow. Doing some fence work, which we did all day on Tuesday, putting in and dividing up the fencing. So I kind of suggested we do that, but now that last night he reminded me that we have butchering coming up on Wednesday, I'm thinking he might agree. Hey, you stayed out again? That the best thing would probably be was for me to clear out that freezer. Because tomorrow we are set. Look at our fish are getting big. They're getting huge. I don't know if you can see them. Hey! Hey! They're so loud. Hey! Wish I knew how to. Oh, I love this bird. Don't come and get me. Isn't she pretty? It's my Eric. Hi. Hi. Bella, Mary, and Bruce. Bruce? Bruce, Bruce, Bruce. Come here, Bruce. Hi. Hi. Come here. I do have 2 bins from shaving the sheep that we've been washing the wool. So I'm going to dump that today and rewash it. I have what's that called? OxyClean and laundry detergent that I make. I'm going to rinse that and re-soak it again. And then what I'll do is dry it, pull out the portions. I threw out anything that was already really, really dirty. And I'll pull those out. And then anything left over that's really, really dirty. And I don't spin wool or anything like that. I don't know if I ever will. It sounds super cool, and maybe give it to my sister because she's the crocheter. But I like the wool dryer balls. If you don't use those, I would look them up. Those are super cool. And so I'm gonna look up a video to actually make the dryer balls. That's why I kept the wool. And that's what I'm gonna do. So I have those that I also need to rinse today. So I think it's gonna be a busy day, but it's supposed to be hot. So that's kind of why I wanted to start really early, and then hopefully be in the kitchen in the air conditioning and just work with the crock pots. The canning will kind of be little hot, but I think it'll be okay. So I'm gonna dump these totes really quick and get moving. People are also starting to use wool in the garden for seed starting, for like mulching. You can also save some of your wool. You don't need to clean it for that, and mulch in your garden with it. I'm not doing that. I'm guessing. I mean, I would still probably wash it, just because the camera keeps dying. I think it's getting hot. I bought these new batteries, and I don't think they're very good. But anyway, some people use it for mulching and for seeding. Now I'm just filling up my totes again. Okay. Sorry. So while I wait for the lard to soften a little bit, I don't want it warm, but not frozen. I also had those tomatoes that were in the freezer. So if you want to take off the skin, it's actually easier. Easier to do that when they're frozen. I usually pull these off. I guess I didn't. I was probably in a hurry. And then you just rinse some water on it. Cool water. It doesn't have to be hot. And the skin comes right off. Okay, there's our tomatoes, and there's our skin. So we'll freeze dry that, and then I'm going to cover this with water and boil it. I'm a big book person, so I'm using this book. It's the All New Ball Book of Canning and Preserving. And this is on tomatoes, and there's different packing methods. So I'm doing the pack in water hot pack. So you got to bring your tomatoes, cover water over your tomatoes just enough to cover it, and then we're going to bring it to a boil, and then just let it simmer for 5 minutes. And while I'm doing that, I'll prepare the canner, and then we're going to can it. I'm going to do probably pint-sized jars, and we'll process it for about 40 minutes. So that's what I'm going to do, and then while that's canning, I will finish grinding down the lard so I can render that. You're so dirty. Are you playing outside with Papa?
That's so dirty.
Yeah, what do you need?
Boots on.
Yep, boots are good, but what do you want to drink?
Apple juice.
Apple juice. So Mimi has...
Water. Water.
I have a juicer. So last year we did a bunch of apples, and I concentrated them. And now we need to make apple juice out of the concentrate, right? But we need it to melt first. So we gotta wait. Let's see if we can get it to melt. I have a big mess in my kitchen. You're gonna move your chair?
Yeah.
How come? You need help?
Help. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I help it mix it up. I help it mix it up.
I want it to melt before I figure out how much water. Are you done out there?
No. Do you need me?
No. Good job.
Checking to see if she came back in. She didn't see.
She did. We're trying to make apple juice out of our Mimi's apple concentrate.
Oh.
Papa, are you done?
No, he said he's not done.
minutes.
20 more minutes.
30.
Maybe 30. So now I need to get them out of my freezer because we are hurting for freezer space. Here's the tomatoes are cooking that we're gonna can. Just whole tomatoes because it'll be faster.
Okay.
And we're gonna put them in quart-sized jars. And hopefully get that done so I can get to my lard. The beef stock is in the refrigerator. I cooked it overnight in all the crock pot and Instapot, and then strained it from all the bones. I saved all that meat and packaged it up to give to the dogs for dog food. And now I put it in the refrigerator because we want to skim off all the fat, and we need it to get cold so the fat coagulates on the top, and then we can skim it off and throw it away. So that's what we're doing. We're gonna get you some apple juice. So my beef fat. Grinding it up. And then going in a crock pot full of water. And wash it. Washing it, melting it down in water. The water will help wash it, get rid of the beef smell, and then it'll be, you have to be careful when you wash it. You have to melt off all the water. Otherwise it can grow fungus and then it won't be any good. But if you boil off all the water, then it will be shelf stable in a jar to use for cooking or for candles, or lotion, creams, things like that. Taking the render down tallow that's melted down and straining it through a cheesecloth in my metal strainer while it's hot. And then we're gonna put it, so this is all, I think it's called gristle. It's basically, they might say impurities, but it's really just like all the meat that's on the fat when they cut it off. Getting all the fat to melt down. The meat that's left will float to the top, and we'll strain it out and put it in the fridge. Okay, I think made a big enough mess, but I think this is it. You can see this large bowl. It's already starting to coagulate. Takes a while to go through the, what's this called? My mesh strainer, and then the cheesecloth. But it'll help me in the long run because I'm getting out all the impurities, you know, the meat particles and things that are left. So the more you strain it, the better. And then I already put in the whole second batch back in. I have another batch, and this will all be the leaf fat, which is the best fat. So if I did want to make creams or salves, This will be the best fat. And then I diced up all of the back fat, which was separate. And you could see the difference. Like the leaf fat is really lumpy, and there was a lot more of it. And then the back fat is really, I mean, it's real flat. Like they cutting it off the back from the meat, and that I can use. I'm going to render that down, and we'll definitely use that for cooking. But the leaf fat is the best if you're going to make. If I'm going to try it, because this is the first time I've rendered tallow, so just all the reading that I've done on it, that the leaf fat is what you use for cosmetics or any kind of products. So now that I'm done with that, I had to pull out a second bowl because my strainer was reaching the bottom or the top of the tallow. So this made a huge amount, and I'll probably have one more. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna stick this in the fridge, let it coagulate and get hard into a hard piece again. And it'll be hard to where we'll have to put it on a cutting board and cut it up, and then put it back into the crock pot for a second cleaning with water. And then we'll strain it again just like this, and you'll see it just gets whiter and whiter and whiter. Right now, it's real yellow. It looks like butter, and then as it dries, it'll be white. Okay, so now let's look at, like you can see it, this fat that's sitting on top. So I'm gonna get a slotted spoon, and I'm gonna skim off the fat. Let's see if I can do it so you can see. And then we'll heat it back up and can it. And what I will do is I will probably get a lot of times I'll do like a coffee filter and my metal strainer, and I'll use that when I can, just to get any more little tiny meat that's in there off. But this will get the big layer of fat off, because you'll still have some meat, obviously, just like you usually see in your broth, and it usually settles. That doesn't bother me. I mean, if you're gonna use beef broth, some bits of beef in my broth obviously isn't gonna bother me. But if it bothers you, you can strain it some more. This is a fine mesh, so it usually gets a lot of the beef particles. But as I heat it and then can it, put it in the cans, I'll also strain it. That helps a lot. A lot of the particles fall to the bottom. So I'll do that really quick. I'm gonna do it for both of these, and then I have a canning video for chicken stock, so I will put that up, and if you want the details of canning and using the canner and all of that, you can use that. But otherwise, this is good. While the the leaf fat is rendering the second batch, the first batch is in the refrigerator. It's going to coagulate, and I'll show you that. And then I'm going to heat this up, and while it's heating, I'll heat up my jars in the canner, and then I'll also be grinding the back fat. And then I should be done for the day, but I'm sure I'm going to go into the evening. It's already 6 o'clock. Everything happy? Want some more in there? I need some more here. Up here, up here. Last pot. I'm exhausted, but we got it all done. I will finish the tallow tomorrow. I'm gonna put it in the fridge overnight so it can cool, and then we'll render it again, clean it, render it, and then probably put it in a pot to burn off all the water so we can store it in some mason jars or on the shelf. So I will get busy on doing that tomorrow. Just pulled out the rendered tallow. You can hear the water underneath. I'm trying to pop it out a little bit. Show you what it looks like. We're gonna just do the same thing that we did last time, where I'm just gonna actually cut it up, put it in a crock pot with some salt and water, and wash it again. This is the second wash. I already broke out some from a different pot. Check in on tallow, and I wanted to show you how it's boiling. I have it on high, and that 2 cups of water, this one's, I had to turn it up because it went off on its own, but you can see how much it's boiling. Where this one's been boiling longer and it's slowing down quite a bit. And so I'm going to keep this on high and boil it until there's no more bubbles coming up. So that's the water that's boiling off that we want to get rid of so we can store it.